We had to wait 60 years before LEGO decided to produce an official Star Trek set.
And what we got was the impressive 1701D Enterprise. Impressive, yes, but with some room for improvement.
Well, that's for another time, McCluck. Right now, we need to talk about other ships in the fleet. Oh, you mean LEGO are going to be producing more Star Trek sets?
I've no idea, DG, but considering how well this one's selling, I think it's likely.
But why wait for LEGO to release anything when we have the means at our disposal to do it ourselves?
Plus, you can bet it'll be out of proportion, like the cool Eagle Moss models. Here's the Excelsior. And here's the Defiant. They look the same size, but we know that wasn't the case at all.
That's why I really like the work Lilium Brick Yards has been doing.
That's right. They've been having fun and designing ships from the Star Trek franchise and others for quite some time, and their models always look impressive.
And most recently, they've started redesigning some of their models to match the 1x1055 scale of LEGO's Enterprise D, meaning as close as possible to the nearest stud. These MOCs would match the scale set by the D, so we can truly appreciate how they relate to one another.
Interesting. So, how many models have they made at that scale?
A fair bunch, and new models keep being released. But there's the Excelsior, the Klingon Bird of Prey, the NX-01, Voyager, the Reliant, the original and refitted Enterprise, and more. The list is quite long.
What about the Defiant?
Oh yes, that one's here too. All those models' instructions are available for purchase on their website.
We'll leave a link to it in the description below. Digital versions are well and good, but how is the model in real life?
Glad you asked, McCluck. And what better example to use than the refit Enterprise? That was one beautiful ship. The model does look great. Made up of around 340 pieces, I thought a lot of the building techniques were interesting, with a bunch of stud-on-the-side construction, which is pretty essential to create both the saucer section and the star drive section, which was actually full of surprises in itself. I definitely enjoyed the building experience.
But, of course, the main reason we did this was to put it side by side with the D.
Right you are, McCluck. And here is the result. I knew the D was big, but it never really sunk in just how truly massive that ship was.
But it explains all the large rooms and generous windows we saw in the show, compared to the more cramped submarine style from the original series.
Now, cool and well-crafted though this model is, I encountered an issue, mostly due to how thin the neck is leading to the saucer section.
To be honest, I was wondering how it managed to hold, considering gravity can't be on its side.
It isn't. Here, check it out. If you tilt it a bit, the pressure makes the pieces twist, and it doesn't take long before the saucer separates from the rest of the ship. Oh, that's not the swooshability I was expecting. That's the problem with a lot of MOCs, GG. But to be fair, that Enterprise was never really designed with gravity in mind, and at that scale, with only one stud's width for the neck, there's only so much you can do to strengthen the model. Heck, they did do their best with the nacelles and also with that very section by adding bars inside the build, but sadly, it's just not enough for that neck, I'm afraid.
Hold on. There might be a solution. Okay, I've been chatting with Lilium about this and we came up with the same idea. Now, okay, we don't have the parts we needed white, but as a proof of concept, let's try replacing a couple of those 1x1 bricks with the cross-axle hole in them. With one brick with studs on all sides, and another brick with a round hole. That way, we can secure the top of the neck with the 1x3 tiles that are already there on either side. It should give it a bit more rigidity.
Cool! Just shows how crucial engineering skills are.
You'd better believe it. And the good thing is, others will benefit from our joint fix as Lilium has updated the instructions to reflect our very own refit. So, Is there another Lilium model that isn't as challenging as this one was?
I do believe this Enterprise was the toughest model to start experimenting with. Although, how can we not start with such a beauty, eh?
You want beauty? Well, how about building the Defiant next then?
It's a much more compact design and definitely worth a go.
Plus, you only need 106 pieces to build it. That thing is tiny. It's a tough little ship.
It may be small, but it's got some interesting shapes, which again made for an interesting and original building experience.
And as it's more compact, as you said, the final product was much sturdier.
And definitely quite swooshable.
Compare it to the refit Constitution-class Enterprise and you can see how small it is at that scale.
Which means that next to the D, it's gonna be
absolutely tiny.
It's the perfect battleship to take on the Borg or the Dominion.
It brought back the crampiness of the original Enterprise.
No room for luxuries on this ship. It's just raw power.
These are just 2 examples of what Lilium Brick Yards has created. There are many more models available at that scale, which, to me, makes them very appealing.
And we can finally see how they compare in size relative to each other in the real world. So, if you're itching to expand your fleet
at the right scale
and can't wait for LEGO to release more themselves, and you just know those they eventually do won't be at the same scale anyway.
Do let us know what you think of these models, or which ones you're thinking of getting yourselves, and if you like what we do
and how we do it,
and you feel you'd like to help us out,
please hit the join button and become a channel member.
Or consider joining our Patreon instead.
We'll leave a link to it down in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time. With a bunch of stud-on-the-side construction, pretty essential to create both the saucer section and the star drive section, which was actually full of